Steve Brown will birdwatch in the Isle of Sheppey on this week's episode of Countryfile. But what has the ex-GB rugby star said of his injury? Steve Brown, 39, previously was the captain of the Great Britain wheelchair rugby squad but has since rekindled his childhood love for nature on presenting Countryfile. But what do we know of the Countryfile host? When Steve was 24, he endured an injury which changed life as he knew it. While on holiday in Germany, Steve is reported to have tripped and fallen from a first-floor balcony. As a result, he broke his neck and was paralyzed from the chest down. Talking about his accident to Radio Times, Steve said, "I wasn't larking around, I just tripped and fell." He added, "I was at a friend's house in Germany, I wasn't doing anything wrong or silly, no Brits abroad messing around, I just tripped and fell over the railings of the balcony, I landed on my bum, my head went back over my shoulders, and I broke my neck. While I was lying there, I knew I'd done something serious, but I didn't know what." Looking back on his injury, Steve said, "Of course, I wasn't happy about it, but I wasn't wishing the world would end. There was nothing I could change, so I just had to make the most of things." Before his injury, he represented his home country in both cricket and football. Talking on the Sky Sports series My Icon, Steve said, "From playing football, cricket and rugby, I now found myself in a wheelchair and really quite worried, not just about my future, but also how I was going to carry on with those sports. Wheelchair rugby became my calling." This led Steve to be awarded a place on the GB wheelchair rugby team. In the 2012 Paralympics, he was captain of the GB wheelchair rugby squad. Steve made his Countryfile debut in 2017, where he got to pursue his childhood dream. In the same interview with Radio Times, Steve explained how he wanted to be a wildlife presenter. He said, "I grew up exploring the countryside around where I lived in Kent. If I wasn't playing football with my mates, I was catching tadpoles and slowworms, and I loved programs like The Really Wild Show and Everything with David Attenborough, so that's what I wanted to be. But the careers master just told me I wouldn't be able to do that and to forget it." Speaking ahead of his first appearance on the show, Steve said, "For me, it is worth every flat tire, every muddy set of hands, every wet lap. I want to be judged on my performance. I'm hoping people will see it's about ability, not disability."